answer the question of yes.
You see, Jagero,
okay.
This, I even wonder why you said I've kept quiet about this debt conversation, because I think the last time I was here, we were discussing this debt concept. And,
yes.
and what came out clearly, I told you about the debt.
Okay.
And you remember that I said that one thing we all agree is that debt is a major problem in Kenya.
Okay.
But my point of divergence with Safina is their formula of dealing with it. Because one, it is quite simplistic. You remember that one?
Yes.
And I said that in itself, because the odious debt phenomenon in itself started somewhere. And we have been able to come this far, and we cannot pinpoint success stories of a country that has successfully not paid that.
Okay.
I gave you two examples and told you the only two that I know of is Cuba and Iraq. And in both circumstances, it was because one of the Cuba-American War. And that's why after Spain was able to get out of Cuba, the Americans were able to negotiate. And that is how the debt was taken back to Spain. Iraq was about Saddam Hussein, and that when he left, because he had been branded a terrorist, there was a negotiation to allow them not to pay fully. From then onwards, especially African countries and others, we do not have examples of how this has been canvassed. And when I challenged that, you remember him telling us that South Africa had that at the apartheid regime. And you are the one who read there and discovered that it was not true. Because even at the apartheid regime, when they came, after the apartheid, when Nelson Mandela took over, they still were able to negotiate the debt, but still the debt was paid. So it is the truth that it is a problem. But their formula is what I call simplistic, and sometimes it can sound like they know very much, but the truth is when you dig deep, you realize it is actually nothing they are actually talking about. Let me give you an example, Jagero. He talks about the aspect of lack of some estimates that make the entire process illegal. You and me know that Kenya is a highly litigious country, extremely litigious. We are in court every day for everything. So you cannot tell me that there is this thing that has been able to skip. And if anything, then they would as well go to court if it is an illegality that is being committed. What has always happened in Kenya, Jagero, is that whereas we are supposed to borrow for development, what government has always done is to create things called acts of parliament to canvass and meander around the law so that they can still do what is not necessarily the right thing, but the legal thing. It is extremely difficult to actually do an illegal thing in the country. Two, this concept of odious debt that they say that will audit and then will just not pay. I told you it's not supported by international law. And even in the Kenyan law, there is nothing of that sort called odious debt. So for them to be able to execute it is more than just the explanations that they are giving. And you read it, and I remember I challenged him to quote the constitutional provision that provides for that. And he couldn't, and he went through it, and it was not there. So the truth is, we all agree that it's a problem. The debt issue is actually a problem. But the solution, whereas it is something that we need to canvass, we need to dig deeper into the solution. Because, Jagero, if debt was as simple as just waking up, auditing, and not paying, no country would have paid. All African countries today, they are struggling with the same problem.
I want to ask a follow-up question before Joaquin jumps in.
Yeah.
And there are two.
Yeah.
Number one is that there are obviously some problems with the government.
Yeah.
That if you are going to be borrowing, you can't borrow to buy tea and honey at State House.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But it looks like the government is not telling us that how much they're going to borrow locally, so that when they borrow, you can't actually pin them down.
Yeah.
But the other question I want to ask you, you have said that you want to be the senator in Bungoma, correct? Busia or Bungoma?
Bungoma.
Bungoma,
Yeah.
okay. And you have also said that you want to be president in 2032.
I didn't say the year, but yes, I'll want to be
No, you
president.
told me.
Okay.
No, you told me.
It's a good prayer.
Yes,
so,
it's a good prayer.
Yeah, so it's okay.
And it is just 10 years away.
Yeah.
All right? It's just 10 years away.
Yeah.
And being senator is not far away from being a president. It's not a long distance.
Yeah. It's one time.
And this thing is gonna perhaps catch up with you.
Yes.
At some point.
Yeah.
And to be honest to yourself and to the people that watch you, especially young people like Vash that is there.
Yeah.
How do you, if you were to be given an opportunity to do an alternative budget,
yes,
just about now,
yes,
how do you deal with it? How do you in your head when you sleep, how are you dealing with this issue of our budget?
Yeah.
To the extent that we don't have a lot of money that is going to payment.
Great. First of all, Jagero, as a country, we need an audit of everywhere that we take our money.
Okay.
Because most of the problem that we have is in pilferage.
Okay.
There was a time, Jagero, that someone gave I don't remember that report, where we said there are schools that receive capitation and they don't exist. Yeah? We had that. We have teachers that receive salary, but they don't exist. So first of all, before we even talk about we have this huge budget that we need as a country,
okay,
the first thing I would want to look at is what exactly do we actually need as a country?
Okay.
Because I want to believe that we might be able to even save more than a quarter of what we actually do just by that audit alone. There are a lot of budget lines in Kenya that sometimes you look at and they are extremely frivolous. Yeah. For instance, when you look at our payroll, can we start with the payroll in Kenya?
Yes.
Before I go into borrowing and all these things and all that, whatever, I'll just want to look at what we have today. Do we need it all?
Okay.
How many teachers do we have?
Okay.
Is the number at TSC the practical number on the ground? How many civil servants do we have, Jagero? Is the number in the book the same as the number on the ground? How many schools do we have? How many chiefs do we have? How many DOs do we have? How many of these people actually exist, first of all? And number two, I'll want to go to every parastatal and agency of government.
Okay.
We give agencies of government, and we are always having one problem, Jagero. Everyone keeps saying the money is not enough, but they never tell us because they were doing what.
Yes.
Yeah? No one tells us what they were doing, but they just keep telling us money is not enough. Let me give you a case study of the Teacher Service Commission.
Okay.
The Teacher Service Commission requested, and Joachim is usually better with these numbers,
yes,
so in case I'm wrong, we'll confirm with Joachim.
Yeah.
There was a 1.2 billion request,
okay,
that TSC gave. I think was it in the last financial year or something. But they received only 700. Essentially, your interpretation would be that they received less than they needed.
Okay.
But by the end of the financial year, they had only spent 600. So then the question becomes, did you really need 1.2? Because if you were given less than you needed, but you have finished the year and you have a balance to give, so there can only be one thing. Either you requested too much, or something close to that.
Okay.
So first of all, these parastatals, we are always talking about, you remember when we were talking about the IEBC, for instance. All of us are always outside here saying, give IEBC enough money. Okay? And after we give them whatever the amount we give them, the next thing will always be that they have not received enough money. But the issue is, we never ask, okay, to do what exactly? There was a case in point of, was it lunch?
Yes.
Was it lunch?
Yes, the IBC official was very unhappy with that question.
With the question on lunch. Was
yes.
It lunch
he
or
was,
1 billion.
He was very angry.
He was annoyed with that question.
I was there and he got very angry.
And those are the realities.
And I quarreled with him a lot.
Go ahead.
And those are the realities. So that's what I'm telling you. First things first is we need a thorough audit as a country in every place that we put our money. Because some places that we actually put our money, we just put it there so that someone takes it. Before we complain that it's not enough, can we first start with the one that we already have, this one? Are we having prudent use of it?